Mash is the world's only hope? Let's recap everything from Mashle, Magic, and Muscles Season 2. The story continues as the group stops a student from exposing Mash. But Finn panics when another student asks if Mash really has no magic. Finn defends him, and Lance arrives and defeats the student. Back at the dorm, they celebrate with Abel, Abyss, and Love. Abyss warns Mash that Innocent Zero is searching the academy for powerful people and will return for him. He also reveals that Abel gained a third magic line using Innocent Zero's power and asks Mash to help create a peaceful world. The student looking for proof of Mash's secret sees him with Abyss and Abel and runs away. Soon after, an owl delivers Mash a shocking letter. The next day, Mash faces a hearing for hiding his lack of magic. An official demands his execution, while Divine Visionary Ryo admits Mash has potential but says he must follow the rules. Ryo tests him by asking him to light a candle without touching it. Mash creates fire by rubbing his wand against the floor and lights the candle. When the Divine Visionaries arrive, Innocent Zero infects an official with a mana-eating parasite and declares that Mash belongs to them. The parasite enters Mash's mouth, but he ties it into a knot with his tongue and spits it out. Order still demands his execution, so Mash refuses to move. Ryo stops Order's attack, and Wahlberg arrives with Rain. Wahlberg admits that Mash has no magic, but believes he can change people's hearts and help stop Innocent Zero. Order finally agrees to spare Mash under supervision, but Mash must become a Divine Visionary and defeat Innocent Zero. Mash accepts. Back at the dorm, Lance is shocked to learn that Mash truly has no magic. The next day, the group goes into town. They enjoy the day, and Lance then reveals that the Divine Visionary exam has been moved up because of Innocent Zero. Since they have enough coins, they can take it early. At a wand shop, Finn and Lance test new wands. Mash easily lifts an ancient legendary wand, causing water to burst from the ground. Amazed, the shopkeeper gives it to him for free. Later, Mash decides to visit Regro before the exam. Meanwhile, Order orders Macaron, the Orta prefect, to stop Mash from taking the exam. At home, Regro is happy to see Mash and his friends. Dot gives him tea, Lemon says she will marry Mash, and Lance gives him merchandise of his sister. Regro is glad that Mash has such good friends. Outside, Macaron and his men arrive, but Rain stops them and fights Macaron. Macaron uses flying swords and his howling sound spell, which creates musical symbols that explode when Rain uses magic. He tells Rain to step aside, but Rain remembers Mash's goal and decides to help him. Wahlberg explains that three-liners are extremely rare and can awaken the true power of their wands. Rain reveals his third line, transforms his wand into a trident with Aries, and destroys Macaron's attack. Macaron survives, but admits Rain's power is overwhelming. Mash thanks Rain, who claims he was only fighting for rabbits, and tells Mash not to fail the exam. Back at the dorm, Mash gives Finn and Dot 3 gold coins so they can take the exam. Mash thanks Regro, who worries he failed as a father, but Mash assures him that he is happy with his life. The next day, the Divine Visionary exam begins. Order tries to stop Mash, saying society will never accept him, but Mash pushes past him. Inside, the crowd demands that Mash leave, but he remains calm. The first test is to find a hidden key and escape while avoiding minotaurs that are immune to magic and heal instantly. After a candidate is killed, the announcer explains that the test is about knowing when to retreat. Mash attacks a minotaur, but realizes he must escape. He meets Max, a student who can change his size, and they team up. Following a minotaur, they find a giant balloon containing the key. Max grows the balloon, while Mash spins on his head at incredible speed, creating a tornado that fills the balloon with air and bursts it. Mash takes the key and gives it to Max, who gives it back and shows him the exit. However, just after Mash leaves, Max is attacked by Carpaccio. Mash learns that Finn and Dot passed. Lance asks how Mash popped the balloon without magic, but Mash does not know why Max gave him the key. Max returns injured and collapses. Carpaccio claims the weak deserve anything, but Mash catches his thrown cup, makes a protein shake, and tells him not to look down on others. The next stage is a team crystal battle. Mash and Dot quickly break their crystals, leaving Finn to protect the last one. We learn about the 13 Master Cane wands, which choose highly talented mages. Carpaccio attacks Finn and tortures him by transferring his own pain to him. Finn refuses to give up, saying he may be weak but will never abandon his friends. Mash arrives and attacks Carpaccio. Carpaccio's Master Cane power reflects all damage back at his opponent while healing him. Even after being badly hurt, Mash keeps attacking. He dodges the goddess's attacks, turns his wand into a racket, and uses a ball to destroy her armor before knocking Carpaccio out. Everyone is shocked that he won without magic. Finn thanks Mash, and Carpaccio finally understands Finn's inner strength. Meanwhile, Macaron defeats Carpaccio's teammates and destroys their crystals. Wahlberg announces Mash's next opponent, Macaron, the arena's strongest fighter. The The arena falls silent. Before the match, Mash explains that Regro taught him to lift weights, which he now sees as the body's true purpose. After Lemon rejects Dot, Mash drinks his protein shake and faces Caldo's test. He must stay inside a circle for 3 rounds without looking where Caldo points. Caldo tests him with magical attacks, but Mash dodges everything and a dark flame sword. When a bird steals his cream puff, he looks away, so Caldo declares a draw and recognizes his talent. The fight begins. Macaron attacks with powerful light and sound magic, but Mash uses the walls and his strength to counter him. Macaron summons magical instruments and a giant fist that cannot be stopped by physical attacks, forcing Mash to dig underground and surprise him. Macaron transforms into a child and uses his full power, moving at the speed of sound. He knocks Mash down, but Mash uses the wall to sense his attack before it arrives and dodges it. Mash then hits him, but Macaron uses his ultimate spell, Death Gong, which will knock everyone out within 2 kilometers unless his wand is destroyed. Mash uses a huge piece of concrete to force Macaron aside, then pulls him back with his pinky and destroys his wand with his bare hand. The bell disappears, and Mash wins without magic. As the crowd celebrates, a black dragon suddenly appears. Innocent Zero arrives, stops time, and calls Mash his son, revealing that he wants to absorb him to complete his perfect form. Wahlberg can still move and steps forward to protect his students. Innocent Zero says he wants to become a perfect human and believes everyone exists to serve him. Wahlberg summons Uranus and prepares to fight, while Innocent Zero summons Kronos and releases demons. Wahlberg frees the candidates and visionaries so they can fight the demons, while he battles Innocent Zero in the sky. Caldo attacks the demons, while Order protects him with sand magic and explains that the demons are as strong as 2-line wizards. Morgan realizes the demons are ignoring Mash because they are trying to capture him. Dot tells Mash to stop Cell, so Mash destroys a tower to bring him down, though he does not remember him. Meanwhile, Sitter uses magic to turn Dot and Lance into babies. Even in baby form, they dodge the demons. Dot realizes Lance can focus his magic into a smaller area, allowing them to use gravity magic to defeat the demons and return to normal. Ryo explains that magic was created by Adam, the strongest mage in history. His 2 greatest students were Wahlberg and Innocent Zero, whose powers were said to be equal. In the sky, Innocent Zero reveals his faceless form and says he wants to absorb Mash and kill Wahlberg. He uses forbidden magic to create a giant clock and coffin. Back in the arena, Mash dodges Cell's attacks and knocks him down, already knowing how to counter his magic. The coffin opens and reveals Adam's body. Necros takes control of it and attacks Wahlberg with dark magic. Wahlberg remembers Adam's lessons about protecting the weak and fights back. He cuts through the dark attacks and destroys Necros with a powerful beam of light. Mash confronts Cell and learns that Innocent Zero wants immortality by sacrificing 6 blood relatives. Cell reveals that Mash was created from a corpse using Innocent Zero's blood and will eventually be absorbed. Mash simply punches Cell and challenges him to fight. Cell uses his full power, summoning diamond blades and a giant spike ball that could kill everyone if Mash escapes. Mash avoids the blades, appears behind Cell, puts him in a chokehold, and knocks him out, destroying the spike ball. Meanwhile, Ryo reaches the arena and learns that Mash defeated Cell. When he hears that Wahlberg went to fight Innocent Zero, Mash runs off to find him. Innocent Zero stops time and ages Wahlberg's arm until it turns to dust. He claims Wahlberg is weak because he chose to protect others instead of focusing only on himself. A flashback shows how Adam encouraged a young Wahlberg, who eventually decided to attend school. Back in the present, Wahlberg refuses to abandon his students and uses his full power. He creates a powerful domain to block Innocent Zero's magic, but Innocent Zero stops time again and fatally wounds him. Wahlberg's wand continues attacking by storing his remaining magic. Innocent Zero rewinds time to stop the attack. Wahlberg breaks down, feeling that he failed Adam. Mash arrives and protects him, saying he will always fight someone stronger than himself. Innocent Zero tries to take Mash and steal Wahlberg's power. Mash keeps protecting Wahlberg from his attacks. Innocent Zero eventually loses control of his body because of the magic he has stolen, summons a giant monster and retreats through a portal. Ryo saves the falling Wahlberg and learns that Mash defeated Innocent Zero. Back in the arena, debris falls everywhere. When everyone loses hope, Mash grabs the monster's chain and pulls against it with all his strength. The students cheer for him, giving him the strength to throw the monster into the mountains. Later, Wahlberg wakes up in the infirmary and is happy that Mash represents Adam's ideals. The Bureau of Magic tells the public that the Divine Visionaries defeated Innocent Zero, hiding Mash's role. Mash then goes to the beach with his friends. A blood-drinking watermelon monster attacks him, but Mash defeats and eats it. Wahlberg arrives and explains that Innocent Zero controls space-time, uses forbidden magic, and has 5 servants. He wants Mash to stop them, and Mash promises to win and graduate with his friends. Mash's friends realize his grades are terrible and begin tutoring him. He almost gives up, but Finn reminds him of his promise, so Mash studies hard. He passes the exam by a narrow margin. The season ends as an angry crowd gathers outside the academy and demands that Mash be handed over for being a non-magic user. When a man throws a stone that hits Lemon, Mash catches the other projectiles and breaks an indestructible steel chamber with his bare hands, trapping the attacker inside. Mash declares that he will become the strongest and prove that non-magic users can succeed. Wahlberg then announces that Mash's fate will be decided by the final Divine Visionary candidate exam, warning that his friends will also be punished if he fails. If you want more recaps like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know what anime you want to see next.